The past 2 years I've been going around pretty much US, Europe, and Australia talking about the US drone program. So I've been speaking against it for a while. Most recently, I was out in Germany speaking at a General Assembly. It's 70 different delegates from all over. They were there to speak about several issues that colonial countries, they influence. And on top of that, what they're calling neo-colonialism now. It's not direct, it's through economic, cultural influences, but a lot of people talking about a lot of really, really heavy subjects. One guy in particular was from the DRC. He was representing minors, about 2 million of them. And he was speaking about how certain legislation in the US actually, I think it was Dodd-Frank, maybe I'm wrong. But it made it difficult for them to do their jobs. So you had 2 million people without jobs. Of course, they turned to other sources of income. And right now, in the past 15 years, 16, there's been a genocide in the Congo, or you could call it a genocide. There's different sides being, pitted against each other by superpowers, and it's all over minerals that are in our cell phones.
That's right.
Cell phones that the drone program targets. So I was there to speak partly on the behalf of a man in Yemen. Colleagues. Not directly, but people who were in the program were involved in the killing of members of his family. His father was a anti-Al-Qaeda imam. He was speaking against Al-Qaeda. Then there was his nephew who was on the police force, and he was telling his story on a video before I spoke at the General Assembly. What I realized there is I was the only perpetrator. I was the only one who was actually involved directly in terrible things against their countries. There's nobody there from Afghanistan, but I apologize there, and I wanted to read you guys the speech that I delivered to the General Assembly just a few days ago, and. Our lives are not our own. We are bound to others, past and present. And by each crime and every kindness, we birth our future. It's from a book I picked up secondhand when I was in Afghanistan. This quote was underlined in red ink. My crime still keeps me up most nights. I was just following orders. Numbers. Triple-digit numbers on performance reports and awards. Numbers. They were human beings, people with mothers, sisters, fathers, brothers, sons, daughters, lovers. Entire lives filled with dreams and hopes reduced to numbers. Easily digestible to the bureaucrats who sent us there. It made me want to vomit every time I thought about it. When I look into the crowd, onto each and every face I see children. We are all children before we become what we are today. I'm almost certain there were children in those numbers. We don't like to dwell on those thoughts, but we made whole generations of children fear the sky. Farmers afraid to farm for fear of being mistaken as planting IEDs. Families feeling watched through the roof. This is terror. I don't know how they sugarcoat it with such ease, but I'm here because of kindness. A kindness I do not feel I deserve or ever will. but a kindness shown to me in my darkest hours in the form of a fatherly hug and 3 simple yet transformative words: I forgive you. It was Faisal, and he asked me to never stop working for peace. So now I'm here, and I'm not here to shift blame, but take responsibility. For civilian purposes, drones will continue to grow in their utility around the world. From planning and remediating damaged ecosystems, they may be able to save entire rainforests. They can deliver much needed medical supplies to areas with poor accessibility. They promise to do what robotics and automation has always promised to do, and that's make our lives easier. This is all the more reason why the international community needs to cooperate on regulation of unmanned combat aerial vehicles, and to develop mechanisms to effectively prohibit the use of UCAVs outside defined war zones against unlawful targets at the very least. I would, however, advocate for the banning of munitions on unmanned weapon systems altogether, and here's why. At this time, all military drones are network-dependent weapons platforms. Without signals, they cannot fly or do anything. Drones provide near real-time surveillance of any given area, which is complemented with the data that is passively and actively collected throughout the world by intelligence agencies. Every Facebook post, every tweet, every search you make, and every person you meet with an electronic device in hand is to some level being recorded and categorized into profiles logging your dispositions. At this time, UCAVs and the technologies that accompany them throughout networks of individuals located around the globe fulfilling their specialized functions are beginning to automate incrementally. Drone operators and intelligence analysts already insert their biases in every mission. It's unavoidable. From groupthink to confirmation bias, every social psychological propensity for error exists in every military service and every career field, especially in the absence of real oversight. The pressures to perform efficiently militarily and to show strength politically often make airstrikes a more desirable outcome than going through diplomatic channels. On the ground, people fitting the description of targets may be disappearing, but the soft power effect nations wield decreases with every innocent person killed. The world is shifting from a unipolar world to a multipolar one. To make what is considered a dangerous geopolitical situation more dangerous is the proliferation of drones through nations which have not ratified the missile technology control regime. As much as I disagree with it, the U.S. drone programs have gained the capacity to become more discriminate due to trial and error in areas that lack the ability to shoot them down, but it's wholly dependent on political will. However, despotic regimes like the Saudis have been buying up Chinese drones to use in Yemen. My fear is that these will not be used by states against, or these will be used by states against at-risk populations. The other development is in fully automated weapons. Stealth and autonomy are specifically for air defense systems and interstate conflicts. There are already automated turrets on the border of North and South Korea. The nexus between robotics, distributed battle management, and AI is a dangerous mix. And make no mistake, it will not be the most ethical AI that wins conflicts. It will just be the one that wins. We therefore must also ban killer robots. Finally, as it seems that I am the only delegate who is directly a perpetrator, I want to say that I'm deeply sorry to the people of Afghanistan, Pakistan, and to the world.
Thank you.